But it is time to hit social media for cash tags. For that, we'd like to welcome in Landon Swan, the co-founder of LikeFolio.com, and we have Jenny Horn here with us in studio to talk some Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, so they have earnings tomorrow, pre-market of course, but this is a company that's underperformed a lot of its peers. So if you look at a chart over the last 3 years, Dollar Tree is only up something about 20%. If you compare that to Dollar General, who's up about 100%, and Five Below, which is up about 200%. So severely lagging their peers, and it's interesting because this is a pretty big company. If you look at how many stores they actually have.
14,800
It's wild to me. So Landon, I'm really curious to see what your data has to say on Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I agree. It's an unbelievable number of stores, and the stock is beating up against that sort of a resistance level, I guess, or all-time highs. It's just under all-time highs. And what we're showing in our data, and this is really important to remember, that we only measure consumer demand. So we have no insight on the expense side, which could be very important for a company like Dollar Tree. But we're showing purchase intent, which is when people are talking about going into these stores, either Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, the two brands that they own, and talking about going into those stores or having bought something. And you can see from this line, this green line is the 90-day moving average of that. Purchase intent is basically at all-time highs, just a little bit off, but it's doing extremely well. The stock has pulled back a little bit, but it's right around that all-time highs. But as Jenny said, it's not nearly doing as well as some of its competitors. But purchase intent is there, so the consumer demand side is there. Maybe not as strong as Dollar General. It's just doing a little bit stronger as far as consumer demand. But I think expenses are going to be huge on this one. Obviously, they get a lot of stuff from China, and so trade talks are always going to play a concern with earnings per share.
Yeah, Landon, this is one of those names that they're massive and they're big, and you could say they're a discounter, right? So discounters have done well in this economy. It's hard to get they've been relatively disappointing though along the way. Your data still shows pretty positive though. I gotta think that the size of this and the scale that they have, that they've got to be eventually one of the winners along the way. That's just my gut feeling on these firms. But, they've had some missteps along the way with, the whole Family Dollar thing, I think cost them in terms of time and money. So if they get through that, I think the future is pretty positive for these guys, but they got to get through that.
Yeah, it's been 4 years since they acquired Family Dollar, and for 3.5 or almost all of that time of that 3.5 years of that 4 years, it's looked like a bad decision. Right. Family Dollar's been struggling, but I think the last earnings report sort of showed a little bit of growth. Our data is actually looking fairly good on Family Dollar, and so when you look at overall the company as a whole, it is growing. Here we've got the fiscal quarter charts. You can see that year over year we're showing a lot of growth. Quarter over quarter we're showing growth. I think the street is calling for a pretty flat quarterly estimate as far as revenue goes. Again, earnings are much more important. We don't have insight into expenses, but sort of the good news is that we have data that shows that Family Dollar is starting to get going. So it's, it just took them about 4 years to do that, and for a long time, like I said, it looked like a terrible decision, but maybe now it starts to pay off. They do have a lot of stores. I think Dollar Tree is still the main brand that people are going to be looking at, but analysts are tired of Family Dollar lagging and holding it back. And if that starts to turn around, or if there's sort of signs of life, I think that could be a big positive for the company.
Landon, just for viewers and for my sake really too, is I get these companies kind of mixed up a lot of times. Dollar Tree is the true dollar store where everything's $1 or just $1 in the store, I believe. Family Dollar is a little bit different, more like Dollar General, which are basically just like low price kind of grocery stores. And then Five Below, of course, everything's below $5, correct?
That's right. Yeah, and with Five Below, they're starting to put a little gray area in on that $5 number just because of the China prices. Some items are above that, but the rest of what you said is spot on, yes.
Yes, Dollar Tree's or Dollar General is the fake dollar store, is what we always call it.
And which one did you buy your wine glasses at?
Dollar Tree, I think. I know, I get them all mixed up, but I'm pretty sure it was Dollar Tree.
I know there was $1 in the word.
Yeah, and it was $1, truly. And these are the funniest names to look up on social media because people love them. I mean, it's like people have nothing but positive things to say about Dollar Tree this morning, which I thought was pretty funny. So our first tweet is from Simon, who says, "You see the blowout quarter from Target. Do you know what is the next retailer to do the same next week? Hint, Dollar Tree." So Kevin, do you think that they could have a blowout quarter like a Target?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I mean,
that's awfully optimistic of you.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm optimistic, aren't I? In general.
Yes.
But the question is, what is minimum wage doing to Dollar Tree? What is all the issues that they have? They want to see some breakout. But remember, I think the economy in general favors the discounters. This new economy that we're in with retail favors this kind of, I think they're set up right. So it's been kind of disappointing that they haven't gotten there yet. And I think the Family Dollar, I can't even get it right when I say
Landon, as we tie this into kind of looking at this tweet and going to this quarter potentially being a blowout, like Target, they're going to get there completely different ways. Target a lot was on their e-commerce and their growth that they're seeing there. This is still going to be that treasure hunting style of a store that's taking advantage of the fact that you can't really put it on an e-commerce website, at least, that they're having trouble replicating this. So this is going to be about people talking about going into the stores. I'm sure these are one of those kind of places that you go in there with no idea how much money you're going to spend, and I'm sure it's a lot more than they plan to on dollar stores. But looking at your results here and your data, if the street's kind of sleeping on this one and your data is showing growth at the rates that it is year over year of over 27%, this could set up for a pretty strong quarter.
Yeah, it is. We've got, like I said, the analysts, I think, are looking for a flat quarter on revenue. We've got it up about 9% quarter over quarter. So we love that. We love that setup. Yes, the number's even bigger year over year, but some of that is already priced in because the other quarters have come in pretty well for Dollar Tree. I know that last quarter they beat, stock was up about 8%. So some of that year over year is already priced in, but the quarter over quarter likely is not. And we've got them doing much better than the street does. Again, though, the stock is at or near all-time highs. And so what are true analyst expectations? They could come out, beat and sell off. Obviously, that sometimes happens. But, I do like that tweet. I do like the fact that their purchase intent is up very strong. And I like the fact that Family Dollar is showing signs of life. It's been the loser of the two for a long time, and I think analysts are tired of that. If there's any signs of life out of Family Dollar, that could be very good for the company.
Yeah, absolutely. It just seems like right now with the retail earnings, it's been you get rewarded big or you get punished big. So it's kind of like a very mixed bag.
Nothing in between either. I mean, it's either. Yeah.
Exactly. So our next tweet is from Joe, who says, Dollar General and Dollar Tree price action saying same as everything else. Institutions are positioning for an economic downturn and a recession the year ahead. So I had a bull. I had to find a bear because this is obviously a little bit more negative than the first
this
tweet.
Is just a black cloud.
I know.
Show.
Okay, Landon, what I'm curious though is because these stocks we talk about with the discounters, they're often so recession proof. So, I mean, could this possibly not even be a bad thing for this company?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you're talking about people earning less money or having less to spend, I think that, they're going to stop going to Walmart and start going to Family Dollar, or stop going to Target and start going to Dollar Tree, things like that. That's going to happen, obviously, if there is less money. I don't want to comment on the economic downturn or recession that's looming. I don't like perma bears, but I'm more optimistic like Kevin. But yes, I would say that in that situation, of course, you're going to want a company that sells lower priced goods. But there's a caveat with the trade wars going on, so you never know if those low-priced goods are going to stay low-priced for long.
And then you get your wine glasses at Dollar Tree like I do.
If I got to spend $1.50 for a wine glass, that's going to hurt.
Exactly.
It's well said, Landon. And of course, we're talking more earnings related, and we're talking more quarter over quarter here than more of those longer term visions on what may or may not happen in the future. And from what it sounds like, just to kind of tie it all together, you guys like what's setting up from your end, and you think that there's a little bit of a potential edge and difference in what the street's expecting. Only thing is, stock up 3% today. Maybe they're catching up a little bit to some of those thoughts as well.
Exactly. Anytime you see that kind of buying pressure in the market, you wonder what true analyst or investor expectations are. They could be a little bit higher than what they're letting on. So, I love our data. I think that they're going to beat the air quotes analyst expectations. I just don't know if those expectations are true to what they're actually expecting to see. So we do like the company and the data that it's showing, especially with the Family Dollar potential turnaround and the quarterly gain in purchase intent. And so bullish here, but not betting at all on it.
All righty, Landon. We'll find out tomorrow morning when they do report those earnings. And thanks for joining us. Really great stuff today. And thanks to you as well, Jenny.